Get ready for a whirlwind of sports news. Bayern Munich is facing a goalkeeping crisis just before a massive Champions League clash. Meanwhile, Julian Nagelsmann's future with the German national team is under scrutiny, and Bayern Munich is calling out the Bundesliga referees. Plus, a 16-year-old American-born prodigy might be thrust into the spotlight for Bayern Munich. You won't want to miss this. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Bayern Munich's Champions League hopes hang in the balance as a shocking injury crisis grips their goalkeeping department ahead of the clash with Atalanta. With a commanding 6-1 lead from the first leg, Bayern was expected to cruise into the Champions League quarterfinals. However, the Bavarians are now staring down the barrel of a potential crisis, with their top 4 goalkeeper options all sidelined. Club captain Manuel Neuer is battling a calf issue, Jonas Erbig is recovering from a concussion, and Sven Ulreich is out for 6 weeks with a muscle tear. This leaves the club potentially having to rely on a 19-year-old or even a 16-year-old to defend their substantial lead. The implications are massive. If Neuer, Erbig, or even the third-choice Ulreich cannot recover in time, Bayern could be forced to start either Janis Badl, who is 19, or the remarkably young 16-year-old Leonard Prescott. Prescott, an American-born talent who has impressed for Bayern's under-19s and represents Germany at the U17 level, could make his senior Champions League debut under extreme pressure. The situation has sent shockwaves through the fanbase, with many questioning the depth of the squad and the club's contingency planning. Fans are buzzing online, with many expressing concern, but also a strange sense of excitement about the potential debut of such a young player. Analysts are debating whether this is a sign of desperation or a calculated gamble by coach Vincent Kompany, given the comfortable aggregate score. Can Bayern Munich navigate this unprecedented goalkeeping dilemma? And what does this mean for Julian Nagelsmann's future with the German national team? Bayern Munich is in the midst of an unprecedented goalkeeping crisis, potentially forcing them to field a 16-year-old in a crucial Champions League match against Atalanta. The German Giants hold a commanding 6-1 aggregate lead in their UEFA Champions League round of 16 tie, but their preparations have been thrown into chaos by a series of injuries to their senior goalkeepers. Manuel Neuer is sidelined with a calf issue, Jonas Erbig is recovering from a concussion, and Sven Ulreich has suffered a muscle tear that will keep him out for weeks. This leaves head coach Vincent Kompany with a severe shortage of experienced options between the posts. With all 3 senior keepers unavailable, the responsibility could fall to one of Bayern's promising young talents. The most likely candidate is 16-year-old Leonard Prescott, an American-born player who has been a standout for Bayern's U19 team and has represented Germany at the U17 level. If he starts, he would become Bayern's youngest-ever goalkeeper. Alternatively, 19-year-old Janis Badl, who has been playing for the club's reserves, could be given the nod. The decision will be a significant gamble for Kompany, but the substantial first-leg advantage provides some room for experimentation. The football world is watching closely, with many pundits debating the risks and rewards of such a bold move. Fans are divided, with some expressing concern for the young keepers and others excited by the prospect of a new star emerging. While Bayern graves with their goalkeeping situation, the club's CEO is making waves by criticizing the Bundesliga's refereeing standards. Will this lead to much-needed improvements or just more controversy? Bayern Munich's CEO, Jan-Christian Dreesen, has launched a scathing critique of the Bundesliga's refereeing standards, demanding immediate improvements from the German Football Association, DFB. The criticism comes in the wake of a controversial match against Bayer Leverkusen, which saw Bayern player Luis Diaz receive a red card. While referee Christian Dingert has since admitted to making an error in that decision, Dreesen argues that such admissions do not compensate for lost points and undermine the integrity of the league. He stated that Bayern has repeatedly been on the receiving end of questionable calls, and the Leverkusen match was the culmination of a concerning trend. Dreesen emphasized that the DFB bears the ultimate responsibility for ensuring a high standard of officiating. He acknowledged Dingert's honesty in admitting his mistake, but stressed that it's insufficient to address the systemic issues. Bayern Munich is closely monitoring the situation and intends to appeal Diaz's red card, but the CEO's comments signal a deeper dissatisfaction with the league's officiating. The strong words from Bayern's CEO have sparked widespread debate among fans and football analysts, with many agreeing that refereeing consistency has been an issue. Others, however, caution against overly harsh criticism that could further damage the reputation of referees. Amidst these controversies, a remarkable story is unfolding within Bayern's squad. A 16-year-old American-born player could be on the verge of a Champions League start due to an injury epidemic. Could this young talent be the answer to Bayern's goalkeeping woes? An extraordinary set of circumstances involving a rash of injuries could see 16-year-old American-born goalkeeper Leonard Prescott make his debut for Bayern Munich in a high-stakes Champions League match against Atalanta. Bayern Munich, holding a commanding 6-1 lead from the first leg, finds itself in a goalkeeping emergency just days before the second leg of their round of 16 tie. First-choice keeper Manuel Neuer is out with a calf tear, and his backup, Sven Ulreich, suffered a muscle tear in the recent draw with Bayer Leverkusen and faces a spell on the sidelines. Adding to the crisis, Jonas Erbig sustained a concussion in the final moments of the first leg against Atalanta, casting doubt on his availability. This leaves the club with a stark choice: either rush an injured keeper back or turn to one of their untested young prospects. Leonard Prescott, a New York native who has risen through Bayern's academy ranks and plays for the German U17 national team, is the most prominent option. He was already on the bench as a backup for the first leg and the match against Leverkusen. If he were to start against Atalanta, he would become Bayern's youngest-ever goalkeeper. Another possibility is 19-year-old Janis Battle, who has been playing for the reserve team. The potential debut of such a young player has generated significant buzz. Fans are reacting with a mix of apprehension and excitement, while football analysts are dissecting the implications of this unprecedented situation for Bayern and the young goalkeeper himself. The club's comfortable aggregate lead does offer some breathing room for this bold decision. But what's next for Bayern? And could Julian Nagelsmann's comments be jeopardizing his role as Germany's head coach? And that's a wrap on today's explosive news. We saw Bayern Munich grapple with a shocking goalkeeping crisis, Julian Nagelsmann facing questions about his future with the German national team, and Bayern Munich demanding better refereeing standards in the Bundesliga. Plus, a young American-born prodigy might just get his big break. Don't miss a single update. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more breaking news, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and follow us on all our social media platforms for exclusive content. We'll see you next time.